Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Clayton. I've decided I was going to talk about something that I wouldn't usually talk about on the channel, which has to do with movie trailers, especially the trailer that was released on Wednesday, with that being Jurassic World Rebirth. I want to give my overall opinion on the trailer and my thoughts and feelings regarding it, considering that I've been a fan of the Jurassic Park franchise since I was a little kid. Watching Jurassic Park as a very little kid was one of the main reasons I wanted to get into filmmaking and that I wanted to start this channel in general. So I wanted to give my overall opinion on that trailer and what I thought of the Super Bowl spot that had played this weekend. So the trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth had released last Wednesday, and I wasn't able to immediately view the trailer because I had to go to a dentist appointment. It wasn't too long afterward that I had watched the trailer, and I have to say I was extremely disappointed and kind of hurt by the trailer overall. I found that I am kind of in the minority when it comes to people with that opinion, even though I've looked on YouTube and I found other people who feel the same way that I do. I feel that the overall messaging and the overall storytelling of this new Jurassic World movie, it's not going in the direction I wanted it to, and I think a lot of people have felt that way. Even going further back, when Jurassic World Dominion was announced, that whole ending scene in Fallen Kingdom, where we see the Velociraptor up on the hill, and we see like Pteranodons in the city and stuff like that, we were expecting more like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes with dinosaurs. We wanted like a post-apocalyptic survival movie with dinosaurs. Of course, what I'm getting at is that there's a lot of storytelling potential when it comes to themes like that in, a Jurassic Park movie, a Jurassic World movie. You could have had confrontations with the military. You could have had all sorts of conflicts with humans and dinosaurs. We didn't get the movie that we had initially hoped for. Instead, we got a time skip in Jurassic World Dominion where we were reintroduced to the characters of Ian Malcolm, Alan Grant, and Ellie Sattler, in addition to a legacy villain from the original Jurassic Park movie, Lewis Dodgson, who created the evil company Biosyn that has manufactured genetically modified locusts to profiteer off of the world's crops, producing a global famine that would most likely wipe out humanity. I felt that Jurassic World Dominion, although it wasn't a very good movie, I have to admit that I thought it was a semi-satisfying conclusion to the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park franchise. I like how a lot of things had been bookended, even though there was a lot of open-ended questions from the previous Jurassic Park movies, and even the Jurassic World movies that didn't really get resolved. I thought that it left a lot of interesting story beats on the table. But as we are going to find out, Jurassic World Rebirth seems to be abandoning those things to talk about genetic mutations and a new island of dinosaurs that was kept secret from us for many years, even though it kind of contradicts the original kind of story structure of the original Jurassic Park. Of course, I'm talking about events that happened before the original movie. So the thing that I'm referring to was brought up in the trailer itself by the character of Zora Bennett, who's played by Scarlett Johansson. There's a line in the trailer where she reveals to the audience that the cloning facility on this new dinosaur island was the original cloning facility for Jurassic Park. Now, last Friday, I had rewatched Jurassic Park again, which I believe not too long back I'd rewatched like the whole thing, because believe it or not, it's actually... I watched The Lost World a lot more than I do Jurassic Park because I watched it so many times as a kid, but I still do appreciate the original film. I even like Jurassic Park 3. And I do have an interesting story to tell you about that here later on. So rewatching the original Jurassic Park the other night, I have to say that either if it was because of Steven Spielberg or Michael Crichton, the original facility on Isla Nublar of Jurassic Park, it's not very well managed, and that's really communicated well in the film. It kind of makes John Hammond, with Sir Richard Attenborough, it kind of makes him look a little bit incompetent when it comes to managing Jurassic Park. He has all these millions of dollars and all this equipment, but the overall facility is poorly run. You've got Dennis Nedry, who's just kind of eating and making like messes on his desk. You've got Arnold, who's sitting around smoking. You've got Muldoon, who's just sitting around bored wanting to, shoot something. It just kind of comes across that although John Hammond is a multi-millionaire, there's absolutely no way that he had a separate island where he had this massive multi-million-dollar facility where he would keep all these mutant dinosaurs to just run amok on this island, to where if any one of them dinosaurs gets loose on the mainland, then it's going to be on him and InGen. I found that so unrealistic. And then they're showing this new mutant in the trailer called the D-Rex. I think the original name is Diablos Rex. It's just a monstrosity. It's not even a dinosaur. It's a straight up mutant. A lot of people have said it looks like a Rancor from Star Wars, with a face that looks like a T-Rex, and a bulb on top of its head that looks like a xenomorph from Alien. I never imagined, in the 25 years I've watched Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World movies, that they would stoop so low that they would allow something like that to be greenlit and that people are going to accept it. And there's already people that have watched the trailers for the new movie, and they're super excited for it. I mean, if you're interested in the film, then go ahead and watch it. Going back and seeing the original Jurassic Park and The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, watching this new trailer is just a slap in the face. I really do not like this new trailer, and the Super Bowl trailer that they had was even more pathetic. So, back in 1997... you can still find this on YouTube. The Lost World had a teaser that was released during the Super Bowl, and all it has like the tropical storm, and then it has the words, "Something has survived." And then it's a shot of the computer-animated T-Rex stomping its foot down in the mud, and then it says, "The Lost World Jurassic Park." Back then, that's all you needed to get people invested in the sequel to Jurassic Park, because that's how big that first film was. And now with the marketing nowadays, it's like a Fast and the Furious movie or a Marvel movie where even the music doesn't sound good. And that's kind of hard to believe because I looked online and it showed that the composer of the new Jurassic World Rebirth is Brian Tyler. And he did the music for a really good film from 2003 called Darkness Falls. And that's probably the closest I've seen of a film being really like a knockoff of a Spielberg movie. And it's like a killer tooth fairy movie, which that's apparently a thing. I really enjoyed that film. And the music in the new Rebirth trailer is awful. It doesn't sound like Michael Giacchino or John Williams. Just the humor, the humor that we didn't want. Like even in Jurassic World Dominion, there's that line from Ellie Sattler where she tells Alan Grant, "Oh, you know, I talked to Malcolm, I slid into his DMs," and he's like, "What?" Of course, Grant doesn't know what social media is, so he doesn't really know what that means. That was one of the things that was really kind of cringy. But then you have this new trailer, you have all these people repeating quips. You have that line from Zora Bennett, "Oh, none of what you just said sounds good." Or something like that, and I'm just like, oh, just stop. Just stop. I do not want to hear this in a Jurassic Park movie. So something that I'd overlooked when I was discussing my overall thoughts regarding the trailer was that I didn't really speak too much about the Super Bowl trailer itself. More or less the other trailers that I thought were much better in the past. So the Super Bowl trailer, big surprise here, is that it's just a more fast-paced recut edit of the original trailer. You don't really see anything new, and that is really, really scummy. So prior to watching the new trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth from the Super Bowl, which was essentially a waste of time, I did go back and re-watch the original trailer for Jurassic World Dominion, as well as Jurassic Park 3, and I have to say that there are some serious strengths to those older trailers. Of course, I didn't rewatch the one for Fallen Kingdom, but I do kind of remember it from a couple years back. Something that I had taken away from both of those trailers was that Dominion had the selling point of the original cast of Jurassic Park coming back together for one final movie. Also, there was the big chase that happens in Malta. And those were two of the biggest selling points of Dominion. And then with Jurassic Park 3, it was all about the mystery. And that's something that I wanted to see in this Rebirth trailer. I wanted the trailer itself to set up a mystery where you don't really see what everybody is sort of going up against, but the trailer is so well edited and so well put together that will be enough to get you to go to the theater to see it. Because with Jurassic Park 3, with its original trailer, you don't really get to see the Spinosaurus, which that was another thing that was kind of a letdown for fans. They kept begging for the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus to come back, and I think fans are ultimately going to be disappointed when they find out that the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus will most likely not be in this new film, and it's just unfortunate considering that people have wanted it back for so long. Even me, I like the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, and it was just sort of a huge letdown for people. But anyway, the original Jurassic Park 3 trailers, they didn't show the Spinosaurus hardly at all. They showed the raptors and they showed the new designs and the animatronics and the new CGI. But when it came to the Spinosaurus, they'd either cut to a shot of the Spinosaurus roaring, but then they'd also overlay the T-Rex roar over it to kind of deceive you and think it's a different dinosaur. But then there's like a really quick cut in one of the trailers where Nash is flying the airplane and he hits the Spinosaurus fin. You see it for a brief second, but you don't see the full animal. And that was enough mystery to get people to see the original film, in addition to the other things that made Jurassic Park 3 so much better than Rebirth, I think. The production value, the music, the director, Joe Johnston, the fact that Steven Spielberg produced it. You had Sam Neill, William H. Macy, great cast, all sorts of great people in that film. Even somebody that I got to meet, which you can find this on YouTube, but back in 2022, me and my film professor got to meet the actor who plays Mark in Jurassic Park 3, which is Ellie Sattler's husband, Taylor Nichols. And I might even leave a link to it in the description below of this video. But we actually got to meet him in a live call, which he didn't really get to see my face, but he got to know the name. So, you know, if you see this, just know that I like Jurassic Park 3 way more than Rebirth. So something that I wanted to bring up that has to do with Rebirth is the fact that this is supposed to be the start of a brand new Jurassic World trilogy. Now, of course, I remember back when Jurassic World had come out in 2015, and the hype around that film was surreal. People were super excited to hear that there was going to be a new Jurassic movie. You know, at the time, we didn't really know anything about Colin Trevorrow, because prior to that, we had Joe Johnston in Jurassic Park 3, and then after Colin Trevorrow in Jurassic World, we had J.A. Bayona, who did Fallen Kingdom. And I actually like Fallen Kingdom, despite what people, like critics, had said that they didn't like the film. I actually enjoyed it. A lot of people really got into the final act where there's the repercussions of dinosaurs reaching the whole world, like getting out everywhere. That was a really powerful concept. And then Colin Trevorrow came back again for Dominion. I thought it was kind of like a nice send-off, even though a lot of people didn't like it. Personally, I think that J.A. Bayona should have come back to do Rebirth rather than Gareth Edwards. Gareth Edwards has never done a Jurassic Park movie, but J.A. Bayona did Fallen Kingdom. And although a lot of critics and people on YouTube didn't like it, it was still a good film. It had an action horror kind of vibe to it, like the Rebirth trailer. So I think he would have been a better fit for that film rather than Gareth Edwards, who's never done a Jurassic Park movie before. Yeah, it's kind of problematic that this is supposed to be the start of a brand new trilogy. I thought the trailer was super weak. And even with David Koepp coming back to write Jurassic World Rebirth, having done The Lost World and the original Jurassic Park, I just don't think that that's going to be enough to sell this movie. I think it's going to make a lot of money, and there's going to be people who are going to see it. But if this is going to be a brand new trilogy of mutant dinosaurs and animals, then I'm probably just going to check out. Because, just seeing that, I'm like, there's no way this is a Jurassic World. This is in a Jurassic World movie. I kind of thought to myself the other day, I'm like, if you're going to stoop this low, how about you just do a crossover with Congo and Tremors? Because those are two other films that were in the Universal lineup. Congo was also based on a Michael Crichton novel, and then Tremors is a Universal film. And I'm like, if you want to stoop this low, just make it a comedy at this point. I'm like, just make it goofy, because I'm completely checked out. Oh, and also I think that the T-Rex river scene is going to be really cool. And that was something that they wanted to do in the original Jurassic Park from the novels, that they couldn't do it because of CGI. I think that's going to be pretty cool, and I like the new redesign for the T-Rex. But other than that, these are my thoughts regarding the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. And I thought it was awful, and I thought it was a letdown. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.